Okay. Is design ephemeral? I think in many cases it can be when the need changes. So for me, design is always about serving the need of someone or something, and that can change over time. So yes, it's ephemeral. Yeah. Does design obey laws? Ooh. I mean, laws seem to imply authority. I think in the process of learning to be a designer, there are some rules. There is the need to have discipline in order to develop control around the medium that you're working with. But I think the best design comes when somebody, like any type of human activity, you begin to practice to the extent that you can begin to break the rules. So I think there's a certain point in the design process that laws or rules don't necessarily matter as more because you have control. Let's see. To whom does design address itself? To the greatest number, to the specialists, or the enlightened amateur, to a privileged social class? I think everyone gets to determine how and who design serves. For me, it's about multiple stakeholders. I think I try and approach it from an ecosystem standpoint so that it's about creating value and allowing that value to be circulated within a larger ecosystem. So to me, it serves a whole different number of stakeholders. It's not just one group. And I think the people that we begin to see as our clients or our users or collaborators is a reflection of who we consider as part of our society. So the broader it is, I think the more ambitious the designer becomes in terms of serving those that aren't necessarily people that they identify with. What is the future of design? I think more and more the future of design will have to do with what we consider valuable. How do we construct value? And I think the way we're constructing value today is no longer something like it's a technical or environmental value. We're not able to just pigeonhole those type of criteria. So I think we're beginning to address value from very different disciplines, from different socioeconomic contexts. And the more that we can serve a wider audience, the better the design is. So I think design is going to evolve in that way. I also think design will also have to be collaboration between non-human entities or stakeholders in the process. For me, it's trying to value nature or natural materials in a very different way. So nature spends all this time building up a corn, a piece of fruit like a coconut. And to the extent that we can understand what the intelligence is behind that, the better we can use those materials and collaborate with nature in designing new types of technologies. I'm an architectural technologist, is what I call myself. But I basically take waste from agriculture and find new mechanisms for upcycling them into building technologies. Here in Arles, we're looking at a whole range of biomass waste from our food, from our kitchens, from agriculture, from invasive species that are permeating our landscape around here. And we're looking at a very interesting technology, a technology that is nature's glue, mycelium. It's the vegetative state of a fungi. It populates our underworld in terms of our forests. And they're very amazing and sophisticated organisms because they can take waste and use it as food, metabolize, break things down, degrade pollutants that we find in our environment today, and produce something that's incredibly valuable. So we're looking at creating different types of building materials from this waste. And the project Carbocycene, which means carbohydrate kitchen, is a shift away from a hydrocarbon economy to a carbohydrate economy and thinking about how we can rethink our ingredients in terms of our material economy.